So we are coming to you from a new location called our front room. It's where we see.
Sorry,
Excuse me.
Hack and
It's where we cough and hack and whatnot, and we see our clients when they come to the house. And if you look up on the china cabinets in front of us, and if you look up, you can actually see two snakes up there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rather disconcerting if you didn't know what that was. She has two brass candle holders that are in the shape of a cobra,
Mm-hmm.
which she brought back from
Saudi Arabia.
There you go. Hello, whoever you are, that one person watching. Say hi, raise your hand. That would no, you're not watching. You're broadcasting.
Oh.
There's somebody watching.
Oh, somebody else watching. Yay.
Yeah.
Whoever.
We are broadcasting on both of our Facebook pages. My Facebook page and Della's Hi Kitty and Della Williamson's Facebook page. So if you want to go friend her, feel free. As long as you've got like a real account. We are really washed out on that one and not on yours. I don't get it.
Well, you say I got a better phone than you, I won't say it.
Thank you for not pointing that out. And it could be the way we have the light position.
Mm-hmm.
But yours does seem to have more realistic color than mine does. I don't understand.
Well, on the screen, I don't know what it's like otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know what it's going to be like on their end when they're watching.
Wave a kitty.
So, we're just waiting for a few more people to come in. Kitsu, did you have any questions while we're waiting? If you do, feel free to ask it. We hopefully can answer it. Any strange noises that you hear are called dogs. We've got one scrambling underneath our feet and two more sleeping in their little bed. Well, I think one is fake sleeping.
Pugs snore.
Yeah, they do. Worse than you.
Well, you got two now. Yay, you got two. Yay.
I got two people now. So what we do here on both of our Facebook pages, we bill ourselves as the psychic goddesses. Picked that up from a friend of ours, Heather, who used to call us that when we were reading in her shop. This is Della. One of these days, I'm Edith Mary, and we both read tarot. She reads gypsy cards. We're both psychic mediums. We're both authors of this wonderful, well, I'm the author of this wonderful new book, which is reversed, so you can't really see it. So I'll read it. Tarot for the Clueless. You can find it on Amazon for Kindle and for in print, and you can get it from me in print, and I'll even sign it for you. Won't that be special? And Della has written a book called
My Life As.
My Life As, which is about all
Past
of her
lives of an ordinary woman.
Past lives of an ordinary woman. Which is, and in the back of that book, she gives you a meditation to follow, both written and on YouTube. I have a dog sitting on my foot. To where she takes you through how to do it yourself. And
then, of course, I have my poetry book. Art songs.
And you know, if you don't ask questions, she's going to read some poems. I got to get out one of my poetry books. You wrote a really cool one about a mouse yesterday.
Yeah, no, that was this morning.
That was this morning you wrote about the mouse. We didn't make it to our Soldier Songs and Voices Zoom meeting because I was extremely exhausted and she was not feeling well with sinuses, and we sort of skipped, but they gave us the writing prompts, and it was about writing about a mouse, to which I haven't started it yet, but Della, of course, has written a poem about a mouse already, because she is just that good. She did it in all of like 30 seconds, I think. Oh, dog's gone. My feet are now cold.
Well, she's
Oh my gosh, she's playing dangerous.
she's trying to poke the clearance is what she's doing.
She's
Poke
poking the clearance, yeah. So, if there's anybody out there who thinks that they, who like us to get in touch with someone for them, feel free to write a comment. Now, mind you, that I don't always, when you're broadcasting, you don't always, the scroll across the bottom of the screen doesn't always pop up in a timely manner. So, if you feel like we've left you out, just retype it or hop over to Della's page. And you can't friend her right now. Well, you can friend her, but she can't get to you because we're broadcasting on her phone too. But try and find watch. The Facebook has this thing where you can watch videos that are live at the moment, so you can go maybe try and find it there. Otherwise, you'll just have to private message me later and we can get to you. Because my phone's a piece of crap.
Oh, I got one.
You got one, yay! Yes, though Della is quite the poetess. She's, I don't think she really realized how incredibly talented she is until we got involved in the Soldier Songs and Voices. And they brought out something in both of us, actually. So it's a great group. If you have a veteran, or you're the family of a veteran, you can probably check it out through my Facebook page because it's an interesting group. Right now, we're meeting by Zoom meeting because we love each other.
It's not as intense and
no, it's not like meeting in person.
You can't break apart like we do in the other meeting.
Yeah.
And then the other meeting, they break apart. It's like people who play and people who write.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on Zoom, it's like nobody can break apart.
Yeah, we can't break apart into separate groups, but that's okay. Because, well,
we need it.
We need it, and we enjoy being in that group, and eventually I'll get back to
Kim's over on mine now.
Kitu.
And Joyce is on yours.
Yeah. And Mary Pat just joined us. Thank you, Mary Pat. At least I see your pretty face. So if anybody has a question they would like to ask, we will try and answer it. If you have a loved one on the other side, please let us know. Also, let us know about the sound quality because we're coming from a different location right now. And
Tammy?
Oh, really? Okay. And yes, the puppers are snoring happily in the corner. She used to be involved with that, Soldier Songs and Voices.
Oh, cool. Which one? The one in San Marcos or the one in San Antonio?
Yes, we will be serenaded by snoring puppies. And if...
Oh, she's in there causing trouble.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's a little worrisome when the baby is quiet.
Look.
Yeah, she's got to go look for the baby. And if Ziggy is brave enough, you're likely to hear a cat screaming as well, because there's a cat sleeping in the middle of the floor. So we have quite the household. Hi, Tammy. How are you, sweetie? Oh, good. Thank you, Kitty, because like I said, it's a different location in the house. Oh, yeah, you forgot that.
Ta-da!
This is what Della was doing today.
There's a little quick sketch of memories of desert in the springtime.
There was a picture running around Facebook of the desert at sunrise or sunset. And we both separately downloaded it, and she painted it today in acrylics. I am going to try and paint it in watercolor and see how we do. Of course, I could go get my 5 watercolor paintings that I finished this past week and show them off, but I'm not going to. Not right now. So is there anyone? Sheesh. Everybody must be busy today.
Everybody's dropped off.
Everybody has dropped off.
We must not be very interesting.
Well, one of us anyway. That would probably be
Don't
me.
get in trouble.
Because I had, oh, hey, Bertie. I had a, thank you. Della thanks you. I had a low blood sugar attack a little earlier today. And so I'm still kind of very low key trying to recover from that. And,
You know, it's unusual when she's walking.
yeah. Well, no, you're the one that's been antsy. There's someone been in the house all day. Don't know who they're for. So if anybody has anyone on the other side they'd like to talk to, we'll see what we can do. I can't make any promises because Spirit runs by its own schedule and go get
them.
Go get them. Okay, cool. Grandmother, Lula Mae Falk.
Thank you, Kitty.
Are you getting anything for Kitu, Lula Mae? Thank you, Kitu. I'm not getting anything, Kitu. I'm sorry.
All right, guys.
We have a rather precarious setup with one of the cameras, and the dog just came in with.
Unfortunately, Sweetie can't pick up her feet. When she does, it's like she usually takes a cord or two along with her.
Yeah, so poor baby. Yeah,
thank you. She hopped over it.
She hopped over.
Thank you, Sweetie.
Let's see if we can't realign this just. It might be better to do this. There we go. How's that?
That's pretty good.
Okay. Yes, we do feel better, I think. I know Della does anyway. I'm just sort of feeling a little washed out right now from the low blood sugar attack, but I ate grapes, so I know that's what it was. It wasn't anxiety or anything. Okay, someone's messing with my hair.
I keep getting Lula Mae. It's like she's here. I'm not quite sure what she wants, but she's here.
Sometimes it's very difficult to communicate with them because did I really do that?
Yeah, you did.
Because we have to raise our vibration and they have to lower their vibration, and sometimes we don't always make it. Either one from this side or that side.
Past each other.
No, Mary Pat, I did not see your request. Could you please write it out again? And is there anyone here? I know there's someone messing with my hair right back here. Is there anyone here for Birdie this evening?
Did your grandmother used to braid your hair?
Who was that for?
Kitty.
Kitu.
Because I had somebody play with my hair too. It's like the only thing I can think of is because my grandma used to braid my hair all the time because she loved playing with my hair.
Yeah. Well, my mom used to brush mine. But yeah, so it's something about hair, obviously, for somebody. If that rings true, say something. And Mary Pat, I have you on the list. Is if there's, but right now I'm still trying to figure out Lula Mae and anyone for Birdie.
Did your grandmother have a heart condition?
Kitu. Did your grandmother have a heart condition? Got it, Mary Pat. Yeah, Kitu, they tell my blood sugars have actually been running about 151 on average, and I've been trying desperately to get it down, and I think maybe I succeeded a little too much this morning. Okay, so okay. Uh, but when you have a low blood sugar attack, it tends to tire you out very quickly because it's, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to go out of frame there. I just needed to get into a different position.
Mary Pat said, yes, I did. And my 4 younger sisters, every mom.
Kitu said yes. So your grandmother Kitu used to braid your hair. In which case,
And yes, which means she had a heart condition too.
yes, yes, and yes. So yeah,
Because I had my heart started pounding really fast.
yeah. And then too, with me having that low blood sugar attack, you know what that does to you. So, and that's unusual for me to have one, especially considering we had just eaten dinner. So yeah, that could actually be a way of spirits communicating with us too. So yeah, I'd say Lula May is showing up for you, Kitu, because she's messing with her hair, and
And she wants you to remember her. It's like, to her, the good times were like when she was braiding your hair, it was like her meditation time. So she loved doing it.
yeah, I've had the low thyroid for years, so that could be something to go with it too. Okay, so is there anybody here for Birdie? Um,
Yeah, you better stay out of this stuff.
okay, the guy who rides in the car with you, Birdie, he's desperately trying to communicate something to you, is what I'm hearing. It's like, it's not you. He can't figure it out. He can't figure out how to tell you what he needs to tell you. Um, I'm barefoot, and the dog reached up and was pawing at my foot, and so it was ticklish. Sorry. But Birdie, he doesn't know how to say what he's trying to communicate, and he won't tell me what it is. Is he telling you?
We need to tell him to tell her in her sleep because she'll be able to hear it. And he'll be able to say it more clearly.
Okay. So whoever is here for Birdie, if you could talk to her in her sleep, she's more likely to understand you.
Uh-oh.
Poor internet
I'm back.
connection. I was worried about that. But we're back now. I have dealt with, yeah, it's actually, from what Della's been reading, anything to do with blood sugar is actually an inflammatory disease. So
Hello, Anita.
it's been an interesting journey, this diabetic thing. Okay, so Mary Pat's dad Norman Shoemaker hanging around?
I heard him from way over there. Says no.
And I keep knocking, so I'm thinking that you're hearing raps in the house. Either knocking on the doors, knocking, and then nobody there, or knocking on the walls.
Someone knocked at my door. Sorry. Is it Norman?
Yeah, the Joy guys like to mess with Della quite a lot. And that's okay. So I would say yes, he has shown up, but he's like in a very happy, teasing kind of mood. And I'm hearing, I keep knocking. There's someone that keeps speaking to me. One of my relatives on the other side. I just cannot figure out which one. Okay. So Which one of the men in your life was a cabinet maker or something like that, Mary Pat? Because I'm getting the feel of knocking on wood is what I'm hearing. It's knocking on wood. That's about it tonight. Me being a little on the low key side, they might be more likely to come to her. And you're welcome, Bertie. And I also enjoyed our conversation the other day. Okay, is there anybody else who has someone on the other side they'd like to talk to? Or try to talk to? Dog!
Poor sweetie. You guys over here can't see that, but
No,
Sweetie got a hold of my camera and it's just sort of started drifting off to the side. Oh, my poor little sweetie.
Yeah. She's a trip.
At least she didn't take it too far.
No, she didn't. It was
And you notice she just went around, so she'd
Yeah.
go back over there.
Exactly. Yeah. The baby's pretty much got the bed all to herself now.
Let me go get the other mattress because
That was my dad's profession. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm thinking, Mary Pat, is that your dad, because I'm hearing knocking on wood. So I'm thinking he's trying to communicate with you at home. So at least let you know he's there by knocking on the cabinets, if that makes any sense. And Della's taking a break to go get the other dog bed. Okay, so, Mr. Aww. Mr. Shoemaker, could you please contact your daughter in her dreams so where she can maybe get a little bit more conversation with you than you've been giving right now? She might be able to understand you. That was me, sorry.
her.
It's all right.
Wasn't me this time.
Or the dog, it was me. Please, Mr. Shoemaker, she would appreciate being able to talk with you. And I'm getting I'll try.
Uh-oh, there she comes again. Look out. Uh-oh, hold on. Hold on, there she goes. She made it through.
Yep, she made it through the maze of cords and chair legs and table legs. And if you could see the setup that we had,
Oh, I'm sorry. No, can you reach over there and get somebody out of there because Sweetie was going to lay there.
Hold on a second.
Some little black bird got in there.
Come on, Blackbird, move. Here,
Sweetie,
lay down.
Sweetie, lay down.
Because everything in this house is for the care and comfort of cats and dogs. Oh God, she's back in it again. So now we need a third dog bed.
There's actually a cat bed that I got in a yard sale.
Yes, I remember.
Come here.
I was there, carrying a compressor or whatever that thing was. So,
Come here, Sweetie.
now that we've taken care of dogs and cats,
And now she's off the other way. She's pissed at me now. I'm sorry. She won't move. Come get her.
well, it is kind of Ziggy's bed, you know?
Sorry, I'm fighting with my dog.
Fighting with your dog. Everybody fights with your dog. Wow, this must be oh well. Doesn't matter who's watching, the right people are watching. So unless anyone has anything else, we're going to get the cards out. So, who wants a reading?
So all we got is
So all we've got is Kitty, Mary Pat, and Bertie, I think. So let's start with Kitty. Kitty, you're going to get a reading. I'm using my new deck.
man, she's off again.
Okay, this first one for you, Kitty, is the Four of Cups. This is from the In Between Tarot. But these are two people who aren't communicating real well. Thank you, Kitty. And they are not seeing the gifts that Spirit is giving them. They're also not seeing the gifts they have for each other. Your second card is the King of Wands. I'm not wearing my glasses. The King of Wands. Wow, the glare is pretty significant. I'm not sure why the King of Wands looks like that. But this, when I look at it, it had, there you can kind of see it a little bit better. You have like a mother and child. Oh, that might be better. Maybe not. You have like the mother and child. And that says, see, it's about nurturing and taking care of. But the story, the last one is, oh, wow, we're not going to be able to see this one at all. This is the world. Oh, see it better than I thought. This is the world, Kitu. Meaning that you have everything that you need right in your hands. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't see what we've got in order to take care of ourselves and our family. But you've got the power right there in you. It's there in your hand.
This is talking about your spiritual path. Spiritual path. And they are sending you messages on your spiritual path. You can see that. There.
It's a woman with letters. Wow, the glare is really. Dog is on his hair again. The glare is really bad in here.
I already got that.
You already got that.
And then the woman, your spiritual path, your messages are being sent to you to bring you happiness, and you're not listening. It's like we're talking to you, you're not hearing us. So go into meditation and see what they are telling you. What they're saying is like the only way you're going to hear is if you quieten your mind.
Okay, for Birdie. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Pat, I didn't mean to slur. Okay, so for Birdie, we have the Nine of Cups, which is, there really is glare in here. We may have to go back to the, not now, but, okay. Nine of Cups is usually about accomplishment and reaching certain status in life. Move it down some. Move what down some? The cards. Well, I'm trying to go. We have two cameras at two different heights. That's why I'm trying to accommodate everything. The second one for you, Birdie, is the Queen. Okay, the Queen of Cups. Which is about being able to nurture your family, nurture yourself, and shine brightly. Like I said, this is the in-between deck. So the cups all have, the cups in this particular set all have an African theme for some reason or another. But notice that you can't see it on the one. There we go. There is like these halos coming out of his head. And, oops. No, they're feathers, not a halo. And which speaks of spiritual enlightenment as well. And the last one for you is the Eight of Cups. You had all cups, Birdie. Well, okay. The Eight of Cups, which is about the spiritual journey and turning your back on the material world. So this is much more about your emotional state and what you need to do to get back on track with spirit. Make sense? Or God, or whatever you choose.
This is talking about, these are little kitty cats. It's saying that you need to take care of yourself before you take care of the people around you. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then the changes that you're looking for, which are right on top of you, you will not see, because you have not been taking care of yourself, so you will not be aware. But you are on the right track where you need to go, where you need to be, who you need to be, what you need to do. Before you get there, you have to take care of yourself so that you can change and get there.
These new cards are slick. Okay, so Mary Pat. We have for you The star. Trying to keep the glare off of it. Yes, there is a very bright spot. That's a moon, actually. Not that you can. There you go. That's a moon. And the star is about your connection between spirit and your mundane life, and making sure you keep a balance between the two. This next one is the Devil card, which is about, I might see it a little bit better that way. The devil is always about the temptation and the abuse of power and control over others. Your last one for me is the Five of Coins. The Five of Coins is about change. Hopefully for the better, but we don't always see that we even need to change. So, Mary Pat, it seems like there appears to be like a little bit of a downward trend. Oh, you know what? That could be a depression too. I mean, we're all going kind of through it because we can't get outside and do stuff.
Stir crazy. It's called stir crazy.
Yeah. And so, Mary Pat, I'm thinking that there is it's more of a health warning to make sure you keep your connections with spirit strong, because there is a potential for some depression setting in.
It says the star, saying that the star is, they're sending you messages.
Go ahead.
They're sending you messages, but you're not listening either. It's like, listen to what we're trying to tell you. We are trying to be patient with you. But you need to be patient with yourself, because what we are trying to tell you is not going to come easily. It's not going to come fast. So take your time in listening to it, but be sure to jump over those barriers that you put in front of yourself. And the barriers could be, I'm getting depressions that you put in front of yourself, and you say, oh, I'll get to it later. Oh, I'll get to it later. Oh, okay, stop saying get to it later, because you need to do it now, so that they can communicate with you now, because they're trying to communicate with you and you're not listening. Does that make sense, sort of, almost?
Yes, it does. It does make sense. It kind of matched exactly what I said. So, since that seems to be it for the people on, we will now, for the rest of the time left, entertain questions. Particularly if you have a specific question.
Unless you want to hear my mouse poem.
Well, of course, everybody wants to hear your mouse poem. We'll read the mouse poem. She will read the mouse poem first.
A mouse in the house. Oh me, oh my. How did he enter? He's a cute little guy. Is he diseased? Does he have fleas? Does he want food, or just not to freeze? Is the warmth of my home what drew him first, or the dryness in his throat? An incredible thirst. If I leave him alone, if I just let him be, can we live in one house? Can we agree? Counters off limits. I'll feed you every day until my trust you belie, until you start to stray. Then it's out the door. Find another home. I don't need aggravation, and you need to roam. I have a hell of a time when I'm writing.
The older we get, the worse it gets. Yeah, okay. Does anybody have any questions? Any burning questions we can or can't answer?
Now that the dogs have finally settled down.
Now that the dogs have finally settled down, all three of them are now snoring. And you are more than welcome, Mary Pat.
And get to.
And Birdie. Our faves.
Oh, there she goes, my poor old sweetie.
Wow, it's really quiet tonight.
No, we just lost another one off of yours.
Yeah.
I got two over there in yours.
Well, we may not have lost anybody, but it just stopped showing up.
Yeah.
Unless we lost Mary Pat because, whatever.
Have a happy boy. Okay then.
I don't know what that, we have received a message, he's a happy boy on the screen, and it's like, okay. Not sure what that's referring to, but
Katu wants to know what kind of questions can they ask.
any kind of question about the poetry, about spirit, about an ancestor, about how all this stuff works. You can ask any kind of question you like, except my bra size.
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
I do know with you. It's because I was there when you got fitted.
Because you drug me in there.
Because I drug her into Lane Bryant to get fitted for new bras a couple of years ago, and she hasn't been able to stay out of there since. She's discovered the joys of a well-fitted bra that didn't come from Wally World. And I'm doodling because I seem to do better sometimes when I doodle. Because if you give your brain something to do, spirit can sometimes come through a lot better. And you never know, I might have come up with some new, unique, incredible design that will sell millions of t-shirts for me. For those of you who do not know, I have a print-on-demand store with Zazzle. I will soon have a print-on-demand store with Teespring and Redbubble. But right now, there's not a lot of clothing coming out of China. So that's why it's going a little slower. But it's called Fine Art and Foolery, if you want to look it up. It's all one word on Zazzle and see what I got. Because I have some really cool stuff. More to come. Because I'm working on some t-shirt designs for like yoga t-shirts, but I'm having some difficulty with my photo editing software. So that might just, the yoga t-shirts might well just turn into yoga tote bags. Kitu is asking, how do I communicate better with my guides? Meditating, listening, asking specific questions, asking for the answer to come easily and clearly in a manner that you cannot mistake. When I really have an important issue with my guides or that I need advice from, I ask them, send me the sign in a way I cannot misunderstand it. And so that's the best way to communicate, that I have found to communicate with him, is meditating. And then literally going to like a garden or someplace special between you and your guides, or automatic writing. That works sometimes. It doesn't work for me.
Some people it does.
Some people it does. You do. She does automatic writing. I like to sometimes just go to like a special. There's no fan in here.
No, there's not.
So I'm not fond of overhead fans. They have their place, but just not blowing air in my eyes. Do a guided meditation. Do go to like a special garden or go to the beach where you meet them face to face. Sometimes helps too. I frequently have to go to the beach to talk to mine, because that's sometimes the only way I will listen, is because we're the only ones on the beach, and there we go. I like the beach anyway. Does anybody else have a question? Because I don't know what time it is. It's only 15 after. According to that.
10 after.
assuming I can see it without my glasses on.
Hello, people.
Yeah, it's very slow tonight. I don't understand it. That's okay. Like I said, it isn't a matter of having a million viewers. It's a matter of having the right viewers. So the people that need to be here are here. Period. Where did? Oh, okay. We need another dog bed apparently. Because poor Ziggy is now just sleeping on the floor in the dining room.
She went in there by herself. I
She
think she
must.
was chasing a cat.
Oh yeah, Kindred Spirit is an awesome place. If I remember rightly, I walked in, my chin hit the floor of all the jewelry that they have, and the jewelry is all metaphysical or fairies and stuff like that. And it was just an absolutely awesome place. They had clothing too, if I remember rightly. I'm thinking. I think.
Yeah, places like that would have clothing, but it's like not necessarily my size.
No, it's usually the one size fits all.
I think I lost it too.
Well, yeah, because the broadcast broke down. I had to resume it.
Yeah.
So, it's internet issues. So we may not be coming from the front room anymore. We may. Are you drawn to the stones? You drawn
Yeah.
to the stones?
When you go get stones on the street.
Oh! Do you have a crystal handy? Yeah, never mind. Hold on. I'll be right back, Bertie.
Do I have a crystal handy? Look who she's talking to.
That's not a crystal. It's a glass blob. Here, we'll do this. This, if I'm not mistaken, it's a clear quartz. This is a clear quartz. For those of you who can see it, the best way to feel all the crystals are in a tray, along with a bullet casing. All the crystals are usually in a tray or something, and you run your hand over it, and you'll be drawn to one specific crystal. You hold it in your hand, and you ask, "Are you the crystal for me?" And you'll get a yes or a no. It'll feel warm or it'll feel cold. The crystal will let you know in some way whether or not it wants to come home with you. And from personal experience, if you say, "Oh, Mom, look at this," and you put it in your hand and you have no intention of buying it and yet it wants to come home, it will jump out of your hand and break on the floor. And then you have to pay $60 to bring the shards home. So listen to those. If it says it wants to come home with you, do that. And that was way back when. So you could imagine what an amethyst generator would cost today. It was big. It was probably this tall and about that wide at the base. I still have it. It's just the point's broken off of it. So listen when the stones talk with you. They'll let you know in a very physical way. That's how I do it anyway. And sometimes
I'm not showing anybody online. Rick says he's there unless there's.
I don't understand Facebook. I really don't. I don't think I'm supposed to understand Facebook. So is there anybody else who has any questions?
Hit wave and see if it waves. I don't think there's anybody online.
No, there isn't. As a matter of fact, it's even asking if it. Okay. I do know that cosmically what is happening right now, there is some trouble with communications. There is, trouble with electronics, and you're welcome, Bertie. And so that's why I'm always asking you if I don't get to your question, or if Della doesn't get to your question, you're going to have to ask it again because it may not have come through. This one poor girl asked me a question a couple of weeks ago, and I never saw it till like the following day. So,
Rick, do you have any questions? And Rick's gone.
That's interesting because Birdie is showing up. Her face is on you, but she's talking on mine. I'm not really sure how that happens.
Unless she's got both of us on somewhere.
Yeah, we may. I mean, I don't.
On a telephone and a computer.
You know, if you guys are there and we just can't see you or see what you're asking us, you can always private message either one of us, and we'll answer your question. What we won't do is I've had occasionally have people ask me, well, did you have a message for me? And I'm like, well, you should have been watching live and asked it live. So I won't answer questions. I have no idea, Bertie. So we won't answer those kinds of questions, but we will answer any other questions. Because the whole point of us going live is to take care of the messages between you and Spirit while we're here, not later afterwards. That's why we're constantly asking you, do you have any other questions? Is there anything else you need to know? Other questions are great, but just not questions about, do you have messages from? And even like, what was those cards you pulled? I don't know what those cards were, and neither does Della. We're not supposed to know that. Go back and watch, because I'm not trying to be nasty or anything, but it's not for us to remember what we've said or pulled, because Spirit's speaking through us, or we're speaking for them. So we don't remember it. That's up to you guys to remember. Okay, so it's kind of looking like, I don't know who's left, but it is 8:20. So we're going to give everybody a few more minutes.
It's like Rick is on.
I don't understand why things happen on Facebook and why don't happen on Facebook while we're broadcasting, which is why we need some better equipment. I would actually like to have a video camera that will actually hook into the computer that I can access on Facebook with. But right now, that's just not financially a possibility. And I'm glad you're still here, Bertie. I know I can always count on you. You're one of my oldest friends. So, do you want a poem, or do you just want to say goodnight? Oh, never mind. She's already.
I got a poem. Maybe Rick will understand this one. Strafing lightning bugs whizzing by my ear as a phoenix rises as a beautiful red flare, making my nights sleepless and full of fear. In this unknown place, I'm dressed in battle gear. We will be home before you know it. That's what the sergeants tell us. We won't remember any of this. It will just be another life plus. They lie to us to make us forget where we are, why we're here. It's not to bring comfort or release. It's a cross we have to bear. I'm done. Another short one.
Oh, okay, Kitu. Thank you.
I do. Remember you, I do. Sorry.
Okay, Della's in form again tonight. Of course, Della came from a musical kind of family. You were in band in high school, that kind of stuff. So, and thank you, Bertie. Della always writes beautiful poems. So, having said all that, we love you very much. We appreciate you. And if you need to contact us during the week, please feel free to do so. And we will talk to you next week or later, whichever comes first. Thank you.
Next week or later?
Yeah, later today.
Oh.